Govardhan Puja, Mau Puja and Nepal Sbat year 1144 are being observed today on the fourth day of the five-day Hindu festival of Tihar. Meanwhile, Israeli airstrikes have continued to pound Gaza City and also the occupied West Bank, leaving no place safe for Palestinians, while people in the Al-Shifa hospital plan to start burying more than 100 dead bodies within its compound as they start to decompose. Good evening, I'm Sarah Chitrakar and these are the headlines of the hour. Govardhan Puja and Mau Puja mark today on the fourth day of Yamapanchak. Nepal Sbat 1144 begins. Auspicious timing for Bhaitika set at 10:51 a.m. tomorrow. Vehicle monitoring feeble during festivities. Supply vehicles used for transporting people. Authorities negligent towards keeping a check on risk of accidents. U.S. President Biden says Al-Shifa hospital must be protected. Human Rights Watch calls for an investigation into Israel's attacks on hospitals, saying it is a war crime. And the national women's cricket team playing against Tanzania tomorrow in inaugural match of the Women's T20I Quadrangular Series in Hong Kong. Today is Govardhan Puja, the fourth day of Yamapanchak or the Tihar festival. A replica of Govardhan Parbat or hill is made using cow dung and worshipped today. Oxen are also worshipped today. According to Hindu beliefs, Govardhan is a hill near Gokul. It is believed that residents used to worship Lord Indra but did not receive anything in return. One day, Lord Krishna asked them not to worship Indra and worship Govardhan hill, which provided them with resources. All the villagers started worshipping Govardhan, which angered Indra, who retaliated with torrential rains. Krishna then lifted the whole Govardhan hill to save the villagers from the wrath of Indra. Recognizing Krishna's powers, Indra withdrew his wrath. Meanwhile, the Newar community is observing Mau Puja today. Mau Puja is celebrated by worshipping the self and is a major festival of the Newar community. One of the main days of the ongoing Tihar festival, Bhaitika, will be observed tomorrow. The Calendar Determination Committee has said that the auspicious timing for Bhaitika is at 10:51 a.m. tomorrow. The committee has said that Bhaitika can be received throughout the day tomorrow. As per the provision, the state regulators puts Bhaitika in the auspicious timing. Brothers who will receive Tika have to face west, while those who put Tika have to face towards the east, as the moon will be in the north direction. Bhaitika is one of the main days of the ongoing Tihar festival. Brothers receive rainbow-colored Tika from sisters on this day. Sisters prepare various delicacies specially made during Tihar festival for brothers, while in return, brothers give gifts to sisters. The Nepal Sbat 1144 or the Newari New Year has begun from today. Shankadhar Sakhwa, the legendary Nepalese philanthropist who is believed to have released people from their deaths, had begun Nepal Sbat. The day is observed by extending joy and good wishes. The government has recognized Nepal Sbat as the national lunar calendar, has decided to specify Nepali calendars as Nepal Sbat. Nepal Sbat is observed on the fourth day of Tihar festival, which coincides with Mau Puja. During the rule of Lichavi king Raghav Dev 1144 years ago, Shankadhar Sakhwa is believed to have paid the debts of people, and Nepal Sbat began as a celebration. The day is observed in Kathmandu Valley as well as across the country by organizing cultural programs and marches as per the age-old tradition. Various festivals, traditions and religious programs are observed as per the lunar calendar. Use of Nepal Sbat is found in ancient inscriptions on stones, copper and religious books. The government had declared Shankadhar Sakhwa as the national icon after the year 2046 BS and had recognized Nepal Sbat as the national calendar. Nepal Sbat was considered the national calendar until the early days of the Shah regime. Historians and cultural experts opine that the contributions of Shankadhar Sakhwa have become even more significant at a time when the country is reeling under economic crisis. The celebrations of New Year as per Nepal Sbat includes cultural events, traditional garments and instruments. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal has said that the government has decided to ban TikTok in an effort to address what he said the spread of social ill and anarchy in the society. Addressing a program organized in Bhaktapur on the occasion of Nepal Sbat 1144, Premier Dahal said that the decision to ban TikTok was made to prevent activities that have been hindering the country's development and to control the spread of social ills. Premier Dahal claimed that the decision has been made following an extensive dialogue between the ruling alliance and the main opposition. Prime Minister Dahal said that the decision has received some criticisms and that discussions will be held in this regard. In the meantime, Shankadar Sakwa Foundation has awarded this year's Shankadar Award to the reporter of Kantipur Television, Narayan Kilambu. The award has been granted to reporter Kilambu for his contributions in promoting the national icon who had begun the Nepal Sbat. Premier Dahal had presented the award to reporter Kilambu. Various reporters of different media in the country had also been awarded during the program earlier today. In our Public Voice segment, today we have asked in several provinces what should be done to make the Deusi Bhailo practice decent. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
आशिष दिँदै मर्यादित बनाएर अनुशासित ढंगले यो मद्यपान धूम्रपान सेवन नगरिकन देउसी भैलोलाई चाहिँ मनाउन सकिन्छ।
परापूर्व कालदेखिबाट चल्दै आएको हिसाबले चाहिँ देउसी भैलो खेल्न पर्यो।
पहिलाकै सांस्कृतिक रूपमा हामी फलो गर्नुपर्छ।
परम्परागत रूपले देउसी भैलो सहज सरल तरिकाले खेल्नुपर्छ।
हो हल्ला नगर्नु, जारक्सीहरू खाएर नखेल्नु,
आफ्नो टोलमा व्यवस्थित तरिकाले खेल्ने,
यति पुगेन उति पुगेन भनेर नभन्ने।
सांस्कृतिक जुन पूर्वजको जुन परम्पराहरू छ त्यो माथि हामीलाई एकदम जोड दिनुपर्छ।
सबभन्दा पहिला त अनुशासन चाहियो। गभर्नमेन्टद्वारा यसको निगरानी गर्नुपर्छ।
मादल बजाउनु, थपडी बजाउनु, सबैजना मिलेर गाउनु, त्यसलाई नै राम्रो हुन्छ।
कल्चरको तरिकाले जानु पर्यो। लोकल टिपिकल माजा बारु बजार लोकल भाकामा नाच्ने, लोकल मान्छेहरूले गाउने गरेर त्यसरी जानुपर्छ।
आजभोलि जस्तो डेक बजाएर डिस्को नाच्दै हिँड्ने त्यस्तो गीत नगाएर पहिलाको परम्परा संस्कृतिलाई जोगाउन पर्छ।
शान्तिपूर्णले रमाउनु गर्नुपर्छ।
स्थानीय सरकार र तपाईको जिल्ला प्रशासन मिलेर एउटा तपाईको भैलो खेल्न आउँदाखेरि रकम तोकिदिनु पर्यो।
प्रशासनले एउटा समय तोकिदिनु पर्यो अनि त्यसमा चाहिँ मदिराहरू सेवन नगर्ने एउटा नियम पनि बनाउनु पर्छ।
लागु पदार्थ खाएर यसो नसा औषध के भन्छ रक्सीहरू खाएर आउनु भएन।
We'll take a short break here. More news coming up. The number of road accidents have been on the rise in the country due to narrow and dilapidated roads, poor condition of vehicles and negligence on part of drivers. 1,967 lost their lives in 30,528 road accidents across the country in the last fiscal year. In recent time, even vehicles that are meant to carry goods have been carrying passengers, which has been attributed as one of the reasons in the rise in road accidents. On Sunday this week, a jeep met with an accident resulting in the death of 7 individuals. The jeep was meant to carry goods but was transporting people and was reportedly at a high speed. This incident shed light on the authorities' lack of monitoring and the negligence on part of the jeep operator. Last year, more than 23,000 were injured in various road accidents across the country. It goes without saying that the authorities should deploy more traffic police in areas with heavy traffic and movements, and especially during festive seasons where more people are busy and out on the streets. Unfortunately, the police have been dodging their responsibilities, saying that the public should be aware themselves. Time now for our segment, Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Before that, let's take a look at the result from yesterday's poll. Yesterday, we had asked, why has the role of province governments appeared weak during disasters? 30% voted for A, lack of willpower, 49% for B, lack of clarity in jurisdiction, and 21% for C, lack of resources. Here's today's question. Why has the monitoring of vehicles looked feeble during festivity? Your options are A, negligence on part of authority, B, increase in number of passengers, and C, lack of human resource. Voting is on. Type any WS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. The government has warned of taking action against internet service providers if they fail to abide by the government decision to ban the use of digital platform Tik Tok. Internet Service Providers Association, meanwhile, has said that it will take additional time to implement the decision due to technical reasons. Issuing a notice earlier today, the Nepal Telecommunications Authority has directed internet service providers to implement the decision made by the cabinet yesterday. Yesterday's meeting of the Council of Ministers had decided to impose a ban on the use of digital platform Tik Tok, citing it was being used to spread social ills and anarchy in the society. Meanwhile, the government-owned Nepal Telecom has said that it has almost completely restricted access to Tik Tok through its service. There are almost 140 internet service provider companies in Nepal. A number of these companies have been condemning the government decision, saying it was implemented without monitoring first. Meanwhile, the Nepal police has received 760 complaints so far in the ongoing fiscal year, expressing reservations against contents posted on TikTok that they say have invited social problems. This includes 464 complaints lodged at the Central Investigation Bureau and 296 in various provincial units. Time now for international update. Gaza's health ministry has said 40 people have died at Al-Shifa hospital, adding that a large number of bodies need to be buried, but Israeli forces are preventing movement within the compound. Doctors Without Borders says bullets were fired into one of its 3 premises located near Al-Shifa hospital, where more than 100 people, including staff and their families, have taken shelter. The group has also said those sheltering have run out of food and called for an immediate ceasefire, saying that thousands of people trapped in hospitals and other places in Gaza City must be given safe passage. A surgeon at Al-Shifa hospital in the Gaza Strip said more than 20 people have sought treatment for chest and neck gunshot wounds in firing from Israeli quadcopter drones. Meanwhile, hundreds of thousands of Palestinians remain trapped in parts of northern Gaza and are at risk of hunger, thirst, disease, and Israeli attacks. Some people have reported being locked down with family members who have either been killed or seriously wounded. Dozens of arrests were made across occupied West Bank. The Commission of Detainees Affairs and the Palestinian Prisoners Society has said 2 children were among the 31 Palestinians arrested overnight by Israeli authorities. Since 7th of October, 2,570 people have been arrested. The groups also say Israel's detention campaigns have been accompanied by torture, intense beatings, threats, and house vandalism. Meanwhile, U.S. President Biden has said Al-Shifa hospital must be protected as fighting rages close to the facility in Gaza City. Biden called for hospitals in the Gaza Strip to be protected, adding that he hoped for less intrusive action by Israel as Israeli tanks advance to the gates of the besieged enclave's main hospital. His comments came as UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak urged Israel to do everything possible to protect civilians in Gaza and called for an urgent humanitarian pause. Smoke billowed over the border area between Israel and Lebanon today as hostilities and rhetoric have escalated in recent weeks, with growing casualties on both sides. A war of words have been fueling concerns of a widening conflict between Israel and the Iran-backed Lebanese group Hezbollah. Yesterday, Israeli strikes killed 2 people in South Lebanon, according to a first responder organization affiliated to the Hezbollah allied Amal movement. Almost 200 Rohingya arrived by boat at Indonesia's Aceh province today, the latest batch of people to have fled Myanmar by boat this year. Many members of the ethnic Rohingya Muslims, a persecuted minority in Myanmar, have for years boarded risky wooden boats to escape to Muslim-majority Bangladesh, Malaysia and Indonesia, as well as Thailand. Several hundred Rohingyas arrived in Aceh earlier this year, and massive numbers have died at sea from disease, hunger and fatigue. Last year was one of the deadliest in a decade for such refugees, according to the UNHCR. Nearly 1 million Rohingya Muslims fled a military-led crackdown in Buddhist-majority Myanmar in 2017 and now live in what UNHCR Chief Filippo Grandi described as the biggest humanitarian refugee camp in the world in Bangladesh. Time now for another short break. We'll be right back.
Sports news.
The national women's cricket team is playing against Tanzania tomorrow in the inaugural match of the Women's T20I Quadrangular Series in Hong Kong. The match has been scheduled to kick off at 7:15 a.m. Nepal time. This will be the first time Nepal will play against Tanzania, which is in the 19th position in the ICC Women's T20 rankings. Captain Fatma Kibasu boasts the strongest team and is looking to lift the series trophy. Tanzania team has included players who had staged an outstanding play at the recent Women's Premier League. Skipper Fatma is one of them, having the highest boundary and centuries to her achievements. Meanwhile, apart from Rubina Chetri, the Nepali side lack power hitter. Tanzania is the most active ICC associate nation in the African region, having previously won the 2004, 2006 and 2011 African Championships. However, the team has yet to qualify for the World Cup. The Nepali team say the match against Tanzania will be a test for the team. This is the first international match for the women's cricket team since Indu Burma took the captainship. The other two teams participating in the series are Hong Kong and Japan. Later tomorrow, Japan will face the host at 12 noon. Nepal will play its second match against Japan on 16th November and third match against the host on the 18th. The final match, the final match along with the third place match will be played on the 19th. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Good night.